In today's episode, I sit down with RM, a talented performer and show director at Hong Kong Disneyland. RM's inspiring journey takes us from his roots in the Philippines to the bright stages of Hong Kong, sharing how resilience, family, and faith shaped his path in the performing arts. We'll dive into the challenges of navigating auditions and personal identity, the power of community and theatre, and RM's dreams for the future. With life lessons and heartfelt reflections, this episode is packed with wisdom, passion, and plenty of inspiration. Welcome to ChatterBeans, where every cup holds a story. I'm your host, Isaac Kong, and in this brand new podcast series, I'll be sitting down with people from all walks of life. Join me as we dive into their stories, the lessons they've learned, the memories that have shaped them, and those bits of advice they wish they could share with others. And the surprising things you'd never guess just by looking. Every episode, we'll sit, chat, and discover the extraordinary hidden in everyday lives. So grab your favourite brew and settle in. It's time for some good coffee and even better conversation here on ChatterBeans. RM, welcome to ChatterBeans.
Hello, thank you for having me here.
You're very welcome. How are you?
I'm good.
Good. Let's start off. Your go-to coffee order. So if you go to a coffee shop, what do you order?
Cappuccino.
Cappuccino. Why is that?
I don't know.
You just like it?
I just like it with a little bit of sprinkle of
the chocolate?
The chocolate.
Always?
Yeah. Always.
Perfect.
Cappuccino is easy.
Perfect. RM. So why RM? That's not your real name, is it?
No, my real name is Jeffrey.
Jeffrey.
And RM actually was in South Korea back then. And then I was thinking about what would be my nickname. I don't know. I want to invent a name for myself.
How old were you at this point?
Oh, I was in college.
Really?
Yeah, and then one of the South Koreans there was like the part of the Asian cheering team.
Yeah.
And I said, I invented RM. Said, so what's RM stands for? And they said, real man. And I was like, real man. Well, but at that time, right? But and then some of my friends said, oh, it's rehearsal master.
Rehearsal master.
So if there's a rehearsal, I'm the master.
Perfect. Real man, rehearsal master. That's such a good story.
Yeah, that's RM stands for.
Not
everyone knew.
No, they do now. They will now. Your secrets are out.
I know.
So RM, we are in Hong Kong right now.
Oh, yes.
This is where you live.
Welcome to Hong Kong.
Thank you. It's good to be here. So you live in Hong Kong. You've lived here for how long?
Oh my gosh, 17 years. I came here since 2007.
2007. And where are you from? Why did you come here? What's your story?
I'm originally from the Philippines.
Nice.
And I moved here for a job. I'm as a performer.
Very good.
In the most happiest place on earth. Hong Kong Disneyland.
Disneyland!
Yeah,
amazing.
Of course, I was here as a performer in Festival of the Lion King.
Wow.
I'm a dancer back then.
Okay. So what was the move like from Philippines to Hong Kong? Because I imagine it's a little bit different.
It is a little bit different, but because there's a lot of Filipino community here in Hong Kong. So you felt like home away from home. Yeah. So it's just...
You didn't worry about the move?
Don't worry about the move because it's an hour, 45 minutes away.
As I just found out.
So close. From Hong Kong. So it's like anytime you go weekend, you can easily go back and forth.
That is actually really close. Yeah, when you say it like that, like, oh, I can go back for the weekend.
Yeah, it's like weekend, you want to go there.
And it's super cheap, I imagine.
And it's...
Oh, good for you.
Not super cheap, but affordable.
Affordable travel.
Affordable.
Oh, we like that. So 17 years living in Hong Kong.
Yes.
What are you up to now? So you're still at Disneyland?
I can't believe it. 17 years. I'm still in Disneyland.
Still in Disneyland.
And now I'm the show director.
That's exciting.
Yeah, it's a good, a healthy 17 years of,
You still love it?
I still love it. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. It's a joy to be working in that.
Okay. Where do those passions come from? Like, have you always been into performing since like young age?
At the young age, I'm just involved in a lot of oratorical contest, declamation contest. If there's a dance there, I will always dance.
Yeah.
I think it's just innate as a child that I'm really into the performing arts. But I don't have a proper technique in dance,
Yeah.
You
were never trained
I never trained as a dancer. I started late. I started in college already, in University of the Philippines where I graduated. That's when I began my formal training. in dance, I don't even know how to do a pirouette back in high school. But I'm
Could you
always
do a pirouette
dancing.
now?
I can do. Well, I can do pirouette now. not as not as close as
Show
before
us.
because I stopped dancing. But I still can do. I still can dance because absolutely. Once you're a dancer,
You've got it.
you got it.
Nice. So that you never did any formal training, but it stayed with you throughout
I did formal training now back in college. So
college,
no, that I
right?
did jazz dance, I did cheer dance, I had a little bit of ballet, even part of the what do you call this? Not workshop, or if there's a school, it's Steps Dance Studio is one of it. That who gave me the chance to train more ballet, then air dance with the dance company that I work with. Just try to be more versatile in terms of the performing.
Yeah. But you did your college and then you stayed in the Philippines for a little while.
Yes.
Yeah.
Actually,
And what were you doing after college?
when I was in University of the Philippines, I already part of the theater arts. I mean, and I'm already doing some choreography. I was assistant choreographer to Atlantis Production or New Voice Company with Dexter Santos. I know if he's hearing it. So he's also one of my great teacher who helped me through choreography. I'm always assisting with all his productions back in the Philippines, and as part of the cheering squad.
Yeah.
Um, I I think my creative sensibilities already started in college, because being exposed to great teachers,
Yeah.
that I learned with, in University of the Philippines because I took Bachelor of Arts in Theater Arts.
Really?
So it was really the direction that I studied in.
So actually quite a young age and you've stuck with it these all these years.
At a young age, you know what? I didn't know about theater when I was young. All I know is like I perform, I dance, without the knowledge of what theater is,
Yeah.
or the history of theater.
Is that because in the Philippines it's just not a big thing, or is it because your family situation, or why do you think that you didn't know much about it? You just hadn't realized.
I think it's part of our culture because there will always be like performance for schools, like field demonstrations, like that all
Yeah.
massive dance that you will all dancing in. Let's get physical back then, wearing shorts and all yeah,
Really?
and all or cultural dances back in elementary. I think it's always part of our culture, but maybe because of the time where the internet is not yet.
Yeah.
You have to go to the library to check a
Yes.
book or that one. And now easily you can, theater arts, what's theater? Then you can
Exactly.
easily type it. Back then it's not as that you can easily know what is it about. But I really don't know. It's a good question, but that I know more of theater when I entered college.
Yeah.
Or
I suppose
maybe,
you're around different people, aren't you, as well? So
yeah,
different influence when you get older, maybe.
yeah,
Yeah.
maybe.
And your job now, you're show directing. Is that
Yes,
right? Yeah. So what
yes.
does that involve?
So it involves directing for, let's say, whether it's a castle stage show or a show, a theater show, or an event. So I actually do choreography as well. I started first as a choreographer. I was promoted
Amazing.
as choreographer first, and now that I'm the show director, sometimes I direct and choreograph my own show, depending
Nice.
on depending of the time, if I have the bandwidth to do it, or just sometimes I have a choreographer. So it's basically directing
Yeah.
the whatever you see there in the park. So some good stuff there, whether it's in a castle stage or theater shows. Yeah,
And I've been to Disneyland Hong Kong. It was my only time at Disneyland actually. 2 years ago I went and I loved it. And
what shows have you seen?
we saw the Christmas show on the outside the castle. What was
That's
it?
Mickey and Friends Christmas Time Ball.
Yeah, but there was another one.
Santa Goofy's Magical Snowfall.
I don't remember. What was the song? The really nice
Are
song.
they all felt like the version of Rockettes in their?
There was a song. It was
Is it a choir or the?
no.
And there's Gimel is the letter B.
I'm not giving you much, am I?
But it was in front of the castle stage.
Yes, and it was fireworks. It was a big show.
There's
It
fireworks.
was December. It was the biggest show. I think it was only one time.
Oh, it's a hard ticket event.
I don't remember.
When was this? Last year?
2022.
2022. That might be a hard ticket event.
You know
If
the
there's
song. You know the song that they created for it.
I don't know what it's momentous.
Momentous,
I think
that's it.
you're talking about the projections and fireworks.
Yes, is
Yeah.
that not a show?
Yeah,
It
it
is.
is considered a show, but for me, it's more of like where performers are involved. If there's vocalists, there's live musicians, dancers, and characters.
Momentous, what a great
Moment,
song though.
yeah, that one. Live the moment, love the memory. That's a beautiful one.
Nice. And I guess it must be quite strange for you in your job now because you must be seeing lots of young dancers, and that's what you started as.
Oh, that's a good one, and especially during audition. Like because back then
Yeah.
in the Philippines, you know that I auditioned in Disney 4 times before I got the job.
Did you in the
In
Philippines?
the Philippines. So back then, like the casting director and the choreographer back then is like, I always want to be part of Disney, and then I
Yeah.
always got to the finals. Whether it's a top 10, I'm gonna like there's a top 10, like you'll be in the finalist. But I never had an offer, and I was back in the university. I was still studying, and I questioned myself, am I good enough? Like,
Yeah.
am I why I always passed but I never offered a job. And there's one time, my friend of mine, her name is Milay. So she was also studying in,
Yeah.
in UP like me. Like we're going to college. Like, hey Kuya, RM, I'm going to Disney. Huh? You got the job? Yeah, and then um I had a lot of questions to the point wherein I don't wanna audition anymore because I think maybe
Yeah.
it's not for me. So I stayed in the academe. So I became an instructor after I graduated. So I said, okay, I'm gonna be teaching in University of the Philippines. So I will be a physical education teacher. I'm gonna
Yeah.
teach jazz dance and cheer dance. And then my friend, I was already teaching in UP as a lecturer, and said, hey, come on, audition one more time. I said, no, I think it's not for me anymore. I said, let's just do it one more time. So I did audition, and then when I auditioned, they said, oh, it's gonna be for Festival of the Lion King, and that I said, oh, no, maybe it's not for me. So I'm going to Jazz World Congress. The
Yeah.
school is financing and the House of Dance is financing my tour there, and then they offered,
Did they?
bam, Festival of the Lion King chorus dancer. My face is like, I mean, you can't see my face
Yeah.
here, but it's like, are you kidding me?
Finally.
But it's not a that you're so excited, wow, woo, because you kind of shifted your energy to
Yeah.
going to this path. But of course, it's Disney calling, so
Of course. You don't want
I
to turn
have
that
to do
down.
it. No,
Yeah.
definitely not.
So do you think it was your friend that pushed you for that fourth audition?
Yes, I think she kind of like, there's nothing to lose,
Yeah,
more to
exactly.
gain.
Exactly.
And it's now thinking about it now, it's like about failure. Like even if you failed 3 times, 4 times, it doesn't really matter, because whether it's not your time, because you know what I realize is, if I if they offered me a job, let's say after second edition, I wouldn't finish my degree.
Exactly.
So that's the reason why, because at that time, if there's a job, I'm still studying, then of course I will not finish my theater arts. And then, because I have more time, so I was able to graduate, I was able to become a lecturer, I was able to do more theater works, like outside, with other companies, and then I gained more experience, and that's
So everything
that,
happened
that
for a
everything is in
reason.
reason. It's like it just comes from the right time in the right place. Just sometimes you have to believe in fate.
I think it obviously worked out for you. You got to finish your studies, went into some work, and then it
and
was
then
right.
and it's the
And
right
I
time.
think what's really nice is that you didn't lose it. Although it was a bit of an effort to be persuaded to go for your fourth audition, clearly,
Yes,
you still did go.
but it's still a decision that you have to make,
Yeah.
because you can just say no, no, I'm done. That's enough for it. Sometimes you need a little friend to just
Yeah.
give you a little kick.
How was it though being rejected? Because it is a rejection 1, 2, 3 times.
Oh, it's painful. I mean, it makes you think. It questions a lot of things, like whether is your technique is good, but you got always in the final. So is it the look? Is it now talking about your physical appearance? Is it your
Yeah.
is it am I Disney material? All those questions that
And you don't get the answers, do
I
you?
didn't get the answers. But then when the table is reversed, because when I became the choreographer, so I traveled to different parts of the Asia.
Yeah.
So I watch people
Yeah.
to audition for the role,
Yeah.
and then I'm seeing their faces, and then there's something in your performance that once you see it, you shine through, and it's because we're looking for that specific roles. So
Yes.
it's not always about the talent, but it's because you're you're perfect for the role that's vacant at that particular time. So
Yeah.
it's never a question, because looking back, like, it's never a question of because you're not good enough, or it doesn't look the part, because they're not what you're looking for at the time. At that particular time that they're having an audition, the right directors, casting directors have specific things that they're looking for, whether, let's say you're looking for Kim, it's West End,
Yeah, of
right?
course.
Or it's
Yeah.
looking for Gigi. But
Yeah.
you see, you're so great, but you're so good for Kim, but they need the innocence, but it's a different. So that's why every audition, for people who are listening right now, it's like, it's never a question of your talent, but just keep on auditioning, and time will tell that you'll get the part, and you got it.
Exactly. Yeah. And I think now it's probably very different to back then. There are so many people that want to be a performer now, right? So it's even harder. And there's new ways of getting people.
There's actually more before, like, back
Really?
in the Philippines, like, I don't know,
Everyone
like,
wants.
the line is too long. As
Really?
in,
Was it?
there's more people, but I think because now, um maybe a lot of good dancers and vocalists were now,
Yeah.
you fly, and then work here, and then, you know you need time for those young people to, to train,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? So I think, it's about training the new generations of performers, right? Because they need experience, they need to train more, they need work harder, to develop their technique.
So, so college is where you found your passion for theatre. What did your earlier life look like? Growing up and family life, and
Well,
what were you like as a kid?
that's a good question. Um, I think I'm back elementary. I think I'm always part of the performance. I think that's already my passion for where is it, but I don't have the proper training, because us, it's not cheap to train, right? You have to apply for a school to learn to dance, and my family is not a well off. It's like a middle class
Yeah.
family that
Yeah.
you
It was
can
hard, right?
it was hard, you can't just afford it, so sometimes you learn by just watching, or just doing in the street, or like whatever you see in the television, you copy it. So mimicry. So I think that's
Yeah.
how you learn, and
Yeah.
then maybe there's just really inner spark
In a
that,
spot, yeah.
that is like continuously performing, and then people think it's good, people love it, you're
Yeah.
enjoying it
Yeah.
without the proper technique.
That is half the battle, is like someone seeing it, whether it's your family or friends, and being like, "Oh, you're so good," even though you don't have that technique. You continued it until you found a time where you could learn the technique and you could progress it. So when you were a kid, and you obviously you said like your family couldn't afford some of that like formal training. How did that? Did you think about it?
At the time,
I suppose like that was just your
elementary,
life.
no. But in college, because now that I studied in University of the Philippines, so I worked. So because my
Ah,
family cannot afford me to go to college, so I work in Jollibee. Jollibee.
Jollibee, very good.
So I work there as a smart, it's like sales marketing assistant. So I host parties,
Wow,
because
nice.
because that's now your talent now, performing and all
Yes.
that. So I also in that Jollibee, I also like perform a workshop for kids. So before from theater, so I do workshop for Jollibee, and that is where my what do you call this,
Spark.
allowance,
Oh well, okay.
allowance to work. And then I work in fitness first. So basically, the entire college I was working at the same time studying. So mother, my father didn't pay any single peso
Wow.
on my college. So I
Good.
studied and I graduated. It took me 7 years.
7 years.
But no, but the thing is, I want the maximum residency now for college, because at that time I'm dancing. I love
Right. Okay.
performing. I'm doing theater. I'm working in Jollibee. I'm working in fitness first. I'm working in some events, all theater stuff outside of UP. So a lot of things happening. So I'm
You must have been exhausted
it's exhausting, but it's just fun. It's just
because that
because
passion was
that's your passion is
there.
imagine you're studying at the same time. There's an application right away because you work with theater. And I can't believe what I'm doing right now. Sometimes, I eat in taxi, like because let's say after school,
You're going to work.
I'm going to work. And imagine, like, I just drive through McDonald's. I said I work in Jollibee. I drive through McDonald's and drive through Jollibee and McDonald's sometimes.
I love it.
And then you just eat there and then go to the next one, because no, it's Meralco. Meralco is the one who gave the entire electricity to the entire Philippines. Is that company. So I teach there cheer dance because there's a competition there. Like, cheer dancing is big in the Philippines.
Yeah.
Everywhere there's a competition.
Yeah, yeah.
So I always teach there. It's like they win three times, three back to back to back here. Me as the choreographer.
Of course. Of course.
I know. Those are the things that that you're studying, then you're working, but the things that you learn in college you apply it right away in the outside
Yeah.
world, and
Yeah.
you have money. And I think that experience alone back in the Philippines, because you need money to survive,
Of
right? Because
course.
I'm studying, I need to.
Yeah.
And you have friends, you have a social life.
Yeah.
The balance of it also.
Crazy. Like, what a journey from then younger, not really seeing maybe the light. Like, how am I going to get here? Your family didn't, like you say, you couldn't really afford it.
Yeah.
And then that all quite quickly changed. How amazing.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking back now. Yeah, oh my gosh, yes. It is quite a journey for that. And imagine, like, back in the Philippines, while I'm studying, I buy appliances for my mom.
Wow.
I bought television,
Really?
I bought a bed, I bought a closet. I mean, everything, like, while still studying, and I still give money to my parents. I'm up to now.
Yeah. Your family must be so proud of you.
Oh, they are.
You're like the golden boy.
Yeah, and
Must
I
be.
became
The star.
the breadwinner of the family, so I took care of them, and then I even bought house for them.
Did you?
Yeah.
Wow. How do you feel about that?
Oh, that's the most rewarding feeling, because growing up, we have a small house, and me, my dad, my siblings, we're all in. It's like a studio flat apartment. It's like we're all sitting together side by side, and the dining table is my bed when I was a kid.
Really?
Yeah, because there's a foldable dining table.
Yeah.
You're gonna put a what do you call this, stand.
Yeah.
Now that's a table, and
Yeah.
that's the bed. So that there's we're all in one small house, all of us together. So that, like, when I worked here, said, in time, the first thing that I bought is a house. So I paid for it for 15 years, and now next year I'm done.
Yeah.
Because I've been 17 years.
Fantastic.
So I said that's the first thing that I imagine, like, I need to buy a house for them. So I bought two
2
two houses.
All right.
Because I bought one for my mom and then for my brother. But then my sister first, because that she's married and all that. Because my brother that time is still single.
Right.
And then I bought another house for my mom. So I got three now. One for my mom, one for my sister, one for my brother.
Wow, they must be so grateful to you.
Yes.
So do you think that has stayed with you the whole working life? Like this do you see it as a pressure?
It don't think it's pressure, because you do it because they didn't ask for it.
Yes.
I mean, it's just maybe because you growing up, you want what you haven't. I don't have a lot when I was a kid, so you want to give that life to your family now. Looking back, and, like, you just your mom, like, working really hard at that time. It's just she's sewing.
Yeah.
At,
It's your chance
at
to
the
give
time
back, isn't it?
yeah, it's just time to give back and make her life comfortable. She's old now, so that's why, like, we travel together. So I'm gonna have a family trip to Boracay, and this January we're all going to Taiwan
Amazing.
to have a family trip. So those are things that they didn't ask for, but you wanna do it because you love your family. And good thing I'm single,
You're single?
so
Good for you.
good uncle.
Good uncle. Yeah, absolutely. What about love interest then? And your situation? You're single, you said. Oh no.
Well, on that department, sometimes God is fair. He won't give everything to you. No, but maybe because I'm not really looking, or
Fine.
maybe
You're happy, aren't you? You're
may-
content, is what I get contentment from
Yeah.
you. Like you're really
I'm
okay.
happy to where I am now, but of course, who will say no to someone that you like?
If you're out there.
If you're out there, I hope you're listening. Come to Hong Kong.
So you're a gay man,
Yes, I am.
and your family know.
They knew. It's funny when I opened up.
Did they know, or did you have to tell them, or how?
You know how I opened up during the eulogy of my father, because when he passed away, I think he passed away without him not knowing that I'm gay.
Right.
But I think he knew.
Yeah.
But your parents will always
Parents
knew.
always know.
But because like he's a very strict one.
Okay.
So growing up, because he's always working abroad.
Okay.
Like he worked in Saudi Arabia.
Wow.
And so we grew apart, not and then that's when I burst into tears at that time. It's like, like if you if your parents are still alive, tell them you love them, because you never get a chance to
No.
say you love them, because I working in Hong Kong at that time. He working. It's like we really grew
You were
apart.
all spread apart, right?
Yeah, and then you hid your true selves to your family because of you being gay, that they might not accept you for who you are.
Yeah.
I'm not very fun before with my family because I'm trying to hide it. So it's right. You're more out.
You're having a double life,
Yeah,
right?
you're more fun with your friends. I'm
Yeah.
the life of the party with friends, but at home you just like be quiet.
And you dress very well.
Yeah, I'm still dressed there for
Did
them.
you?
But at that time you
But it's
try to
calmer?
tone it down.
Yeah.
Because of the fact. But they always knew. But that's one of the regrets is like, if you hide yourself from your family and you're out with your friends, then you're growing up not knowing them.
Yeah.
And not them
And
not
them not
knowing
knowing-
you. So it's just those are that's why now, while you're here, you want to be
Yeah.
fun for your family. That's why you want to
Absolutely.
be going trips with them.
Yeah.
Share quality time together.
What would you say is your biggest life lesson or bit of advice that you wish you could share with other people? Because you've done a lot of traveling, you've moved countries, set up a whole career here. Is there anything that stands out?
Well, that's the one. Like with your family. You only have one family in life. As much as possible, take care of them.
Yeah.
And then take care of them without expecting in return, because sometimes when you give and you expect them to do things because you're giving, then it just, I don't know, maybe some people would say no, you have to at least limit yourself to what you can give. But I think as long as you didn't ask for it, I don't know, but for some reason because they're important. They're important to me. That's why I gave whatever I can give for them. My brothers, when he graduated, you pay for them.
Yeah.
Now I'm paying for the nephew and my niece.
Wow.
This is very very common to us Filipinos.
Yeah.
That we kind of give as much as we can for the family. But
it's
of
all
course,
about family, isn't it?
yeah, it's all about the family, but also saving some for yourself,
Yeah,
that you
so you can enjoy life.
you can enjoy life. So that's one thing. It's like it's a harmony, a right balance of family, and then find time for yourself. That's why I like, as you can see, I like to travel. So as much as I can, because once you see the world, you see a different side of you that you don't know that it's there, and then
Yes.
you meet people. That's where I
And we met in
you.
Sheffield in the UK.
In Sheffield, imagine, like in Sheffield.
Little tiny Sheffield.
Yeah,
Yeah.
watching Miss Saigon,
Miss
and then we have
Saigon.
common friends with Joe Ampil, and
Exactly.
then with Oscar.
Joanna Ampel, if you're listening, which I hope you will be, I want you on my podcast.
Oh, for sure. And then because Fosse is
Joanna's husband.
Joe's husband is
Yeah.
my we are from the University of the Philippines. Both of us
That's how
studied
you met.
theater arts.
I didn't know
Oh
that.
yes.
Hi Faust.
Yeah, hi Fao. So yeah, we came in the same university, and theater arts as
Yeah.
well is both of our courses. So that's why
Fantastic.
I knew Faust way back in college.
Yeah. Wow. Okay.
Small world.
Small world. Yeah. Exactly. Is there something about you that people often misunderstand or misjudge when they first meet you?
Not much.
No, you're quite an open book, aren't
I
you?
think I'm open. I'm open book. I'm Facebook. I think what this is what
And your expression is on your face
is
quite a lot.
what you get. Yeah, I'm very expressive, as you can tell. Yeah, I think there, not much. But the thing is, I know I can read the room. That's something that I know. Like I know when is the right time to be myself, or
Because
be
there's many people that
a
can't
toned
read the
down version
room.
of me. Yes.
Yeah.
Well, you have to, because sometimes you need to adapt with people around you, and I mean it doesn't mean you're not true to yourself, but you're just trying to be, read
Yeah.
the room, and
Yeah, of course. So if you could have coffee with anyone dead or alive, who would yeah, I know. Who would
Dead
it
or
be?
alive.
You get one opportunity. Who would it be? Why?
Bob Fosse, all that jazz,
All that
who created Chicago,
Okay.
Cabaret.
Amazing.
He's a director, choreographer, because he's one of my idol. All his works I've known since I was at college, and some of his influences is still there when I'm doing choreography. I think about his style. It's like creating his own style, and it's just amazing. I mean,
Yeah.
as a director, because that's the one that I want to be. That I'm living right now is like be a director, choreographer, and I hope sometimes in the future, if I'm gonna be offered or try, let's say, West End or Broadway. That's for me. That's
Is that the goal?
the ultimate dream, is to direct and choreograph in musicals.
Fantastic. Coming back to your coffee date then. So what would you want to ask?
I want to ask him his creative process. I've seen it. I've seen his works, but I've seen also in YouTube, right? The process of creation, and how he visualized things, or
So you want to get into his brain.
I want to get into his brain and then see.
Where would you take him?
I'm gonna take him, of course, here in Hong Kong.
Are you? Take him for coffee.
Take him for coffee.
Yeah.
No, I think I want to be where he is. I
Okay.
want to see the environment that he's living with, because a lot of influences, of course, is you growing up. Who are those people around you? I want to know, all those people around him at that time, and what's his. Yeah, it's more of the creative process of how he
I love
does
that.
things.
You were so clear on who you want to take for coffee. I think that's amazing.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Good for you.
Thank you.
So what's next? Yeah, what's the future goal?
Yeah, that's a future goal. It's like continue what I'm love, what I'm doing right now, because I'm still enjoying it. I'm still loving creating. It's just maybe because I know, for a reason, I don't want to be idle. I just want to keep creating and creating as much as possible. That's why I always go to UK, because that's my, what do you call this? I go there to enjoy, at the same time to learn more,
Yes.
because I know how much Western shows I've seen, like
I mean, yeah,
minimum
every
10
time
shows. Every time I'm gonna be there, I watch
you
every
jam
shows.
you pack your days, don't you? Like
Yeah.
you might be there for 3 days, but you've done a matinee and an evening
And
show
every
every
show.
single day.
Yeah, because you learn from watching works of the other directors and choreographers, and through their lens, you learn something from it. That's why I always,
And even if you don't like the show, right, you've still learned
yes,
something.
definitely. I mean, also the reason is why you don't like the show. Why do you think what's wrong, and what's something there that you can learn? It can be a good for some people, and because everybody have their own opinions and all of that. But why does it work for you? And then you make a question of that one, and then something you learn. And why the other show works for you.
So getting to direct a show, how are you going to make it happen?
Well, I'm directing now.
True.
So in
So actually, you're already achieving your goal.
Yeah,
but you want to do it on a bigger scale.
in a bigger scale, maybe like a full length musical. Well, I did full length musical as well here in Hong Kong, with the Hong Kong singers. Like I was given an opportunity to direct and choreograph Rent.
Yes.
Last I think yeah, that was last year.
Wow.
Yeah, and then that's a give back to the community because Hong Kong Singers is a non-profit organization.
Right.
So you work there for free, right? Because
Yeah.
of your passion. And same as the actors. The actors are teachers, some are engineers, some are nurse.
Really?
So, yeah, they're all doing this show for the love of theater.
That's
Not
amazing.
every single person get paid, from the musical director to the. So that's
What is the theatre scene like in Hong Kong?
I mean, because this is a community theater, so I think what I love about it is like you get to know the people around here, your community who love theater. Um, it's There's some really great singers and
Yeah.
actors as well there that like they can also apply
Yeah.
for Disney, and they have their own job, they have their own lives, but theater is what they love. So I think the best part there is like we all, our passion brought us together in that
Yeah.
production. It's a labor of love,
Yeah.
and it shows on stage.
That's amazing.
It just
Yeah.
reflects and that's what Strand is all about community. And
Exactly. I went to the Hong Kong Cultural Centre on the weekend and saw the Hong Kong Philharmonic Orchestra. It was incredible.
Oh yeah.
And it was a moment of calm. I got like 2 hours of just calm. But the conductor, they're incredible.
Yeah, they're incredible.
And there's some really young people in there
Yes.
that I thought was amazing.
Yeah.
But the conductor, LM Chan, she did some work at the Royal Albert Hall in London. She was insane, like bouncing around, conducting. I've never seen it like that. And I thought it was really, really impressive. And it's not something that I would automatically think when I come to Hong Kong, is to see something like a performance like that.
Yeah, a lot of great musicians here, great dancers. Like I work with them with Disney Live, because that's the first one, the Philharmonic, and then I work with Lang Lang, the greatest pianist.
Really?
Yeah, when he had a concert here for Disney, so I directed that show.
Wow.
So those are the things that looking back, you collaborated with great artists
You've done some great things.
for Hong Kong Disneyland, and my dream now is to go somewhere, and let's say West End, as I
Yeah.
mentioned, or Broadway. So those are the what do you call it, the pinnacle of performance
Exactly.
in theater, in musicals.
It is for everyone,
So
isn't
that's-
it?
yeah, that's-
Whether you're a
that's what it-
performer, you're behind doing lighting, like,
Yeah, absolutely.
if you're in that industry, it's always West End, Broadway. People want to be on it.
Want to be on it.
Um,
We want to be part of it.
Well, I wish you every bit of luck.
Thank you.
And I can't wait to continue watching what you do next. It's going to be incredible. So it's time for the quick fire round.
Oh, what's
So
the
we're gonna,
fire round?
Quick fire. We're going to ask some questions, and
And
you
then
just
have-
need to give me the answer as quickly as you can.
Oh my goodness.
Are you ready?
Oh, let's do this.
What's the first thing you do in the morning?
That's so hard. The first thing that you wake up, open your eyes, and drink
I mean,
coffee.
You are technically very right. The first thing that we all do is open our eyes and wake up and drink coffee.
And
I
drink
love
coffee.
it. I love it. Your favorite place you've visited and why?
In the world,
Yes.
London now is my favorite.
London is your
Place.
favorite.
Yeah, I'm going there again in December.
How many times is that now?
8 times, I think.
8 times.
Yeah, I just love London, but maybe because of the West End. And then they have a
Yeah.
lot of friends there who
True.
worked at Disney before, and now they're all West End performers, like Ella from Cabaret. You have Eerie
Yeah.
from Guys and Dolls, Joanna Peel for Phantom of the Opera,
Yes.
Jane for Lion King.
There we are.
Yeah, and
Good for you.
Oscar.
And
for
Oscar,
Starlight
my
Express.
husband, Starlight Express. Yes.
So see,
Wow. Hey, do you know what's amazing actually is looking at that Miss Saigon cast where we met. Some people are doing some great stuff. You've got Desmonda who's doing
Yes,
Aladdin.
yes, exactly.
Yeah, fantastic.
Yeah.
So London's your favourite place.
it is now.
If you could time travel, would you go forwards or would you go backwards?
Forward.
What for?
Because whatever happened in the past, that becomes who you are at the moment. So you
Yeah.
always look forward.
Good for you.
Things happen for a reason. Like like when I didn't get the
Yes.
job, so it happens for a reason. So you always look forward.
Would you jump forward many years, many months, or would you just happily live?
I'm just happy to live as
As you
time
are.
goes by.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you never know. Because that's
love
what
that
life
answer.
excites you.
I love
you
that.
never know what happened. Like the next day,
What's the weirdest thing you've Googled recently?
That's not weird. Oh, I just checked the weather. Because I'm going to Edinburgh. I said, what clothes am I be with?
That's very sensible to check the weather for Edinburgh. If your life was a movie, what would the title be?
If my life's a movie, oh my gosh, I never thought about what it's gonna be. It's so many. This is a hard one.
This one is a bit unfair because it's not so quick, but I like to ask it, so I've kept it in.
Life begins at 40.
Life begins at 40.
Life and love begins at 40.
Yes, it does. There you are. Well, I wish you all the best.
Think of it. The one that I love is Under the Tuscan Sun.
Okay. Under the Tuscan Sun.
Yeah, because it's all about hope, right? You know, at that time, she's still single like me, and then suddenly one morning there's a bug in her hand, and then suddenly a guy come in when she's not looking.
It's always the way.
Yeah, it's
when
always
you stop looking, it will happen.
Yeah, it will happen.
Thank you so much for coming on ChatterBeans, and I'm glad we could chat in Hong Kong.
Amazing.
It looks like the cappuccino is almost finished.
I know my
RM, thank you so much for coming on ChatterBeans.
Thank you for
See you
having
soon.
me.
Oh, you're
and
very
welcome to
welcome.
Hong Kong.
Thank you. Thanks so much.
Goodbye.
Thank you so much for tuning in to ChatterBeans. I hope you enjoyed today's conversation. If you liked this episode, don't forget to subscribe and leave a review. And for more behind-the-scenes moments, guest updates, and a peek into the world of ChatterBeans, follow us on Instagram at chatter.beans. Until next time, grab a coffee, sit back, and let's keep chatting.